watch Survivor, and when the show ends, you really want to talk about it with like-minded friends. It might be hard to find some, but don't you shed a tear. Check out the Purple Rock Podcast, and this is what you'll hear. John will make some dumb jokes, Andy likes to yell and curse, and if they're not available, the backup hosts are so much worse. Spend the whole time being jerks, telling you you're wrong, and so we got this other jerk to sing you our theme song. It's the Purple Rock Survivor Podcast.
Welcome to the Purple Rock Survivor Podcast. I am John. My co-host is Andy. We are talking the premiere of Survivor 45. And Andy, I've got some big news for you.
What's that?
This is the 10th anniversary of our podcast. We have been doing this shit for 10 years. And I cannot believe that is true. But why would a Tumblr email lie to me? So this is a big one for us. You know, we're really gonna bring the heat this season. Just Andy, what have you done to get hyped up and ready for this season?
Mostly it's been a lot of self-reflection about what I've done with my life.
Okay.
10 years! 10 years!
You know
10
what?
years ago, we barely knew each other. We were making awkward conversation on a whatever. It wasn't even Zoom.
Right.
You know, that wasn't a thing.
No.
I guess probably Skype would have been the thing.
Sure.
And then we pressed record.
Whereas now,
And
same shit, but on Zoom.
Yeah, well, I feel like it's less awkward now.
Slightly.
Largely because we, long ago, probably 9.5 years ago, stopped trying to, worry about the other one of us and what their feelings might be and
Correct.
What the polite thing to do in any kind of situation or conversation. But, geez, man, 10 years and we've not made a dime. Not a nickel. Whoever you have on your nickel, I don't even know. You still have pennies. Not that. At least not in terms of balance. Yet we still do it for a dwindling amount of fans. And we do that because what's most important is broadcasting our thoughts and opinions.
Well,
That's
you know
what's
what?
important.
You say dwindling amount of fans. I think the weird thing is now that it's on so many platforms. I'm like, how many people? I don't know anymore. It used to be fairly easy to track. We were like, wow, man, look at this number. It just keeps going up. And now it's like, I don't know what's happening. So anyway, I'm anxious to share my prep for this season because, it is big for me. I like to celebrate a 10th anniversary in a big way. And so I've been just constantly refreshing Damian Lillard trade rumors. But that's done. So that was my prep for this season.
And now you're refreshing Drew Holiday. Trade rumors.
See,
the season's here.
I'm constantly refreshing Jimmy Butler and Tyler Harrow Instagrams to see what kind of things are going on there. And then, that's pretty much it.
It's intros like this that gets a show the longevity that this one has. Just 10 years of you're just tip-top conversation.
People tuning in to hear Survivor stuff, okay, but they are going to talk about the show, right? It's going to happen.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I can't promise anything. Honestly, the word of warning for everyone listening, savor this because the rest of the conversation might go other places. And before it does that, actually, we're celebrating our 10th anniversary as a podcast, but also celebrating happy birthday, John.
How dare you? I'm going to bleep that, and the audience is going to wonder what you said, and it's going to be so great because I'm offended, and now they're going to be like, wow, how hard did Andy go that John is offended? I'm disgusted.
I know, because if they know a guy named John was born at some point around this time, they'll pretty much hide your home address in seconds.
Exactly. I'm going to get a knock at my door. Oh, speaking of which, what a segue into the fact that I met a real life Survivor fan in Atlanta. Shout out to Abe. I actually approached a Survivor fan in the wild and may have convinced him to listen to this podcast and get that one extra listen, that, all that money coming in. Which is weird because my normal day-to-day vibe is to just deny that I have any involvement in this podcast whatsoever.
That's literally going to be a talking point for me.
Yeah.
Just good. We're getting there now.
Yeah, anytime my wife wants to tell people about it, I'm like, why? Why would you do that? Do you hate me? Why would you tell people these things? No.
She's like, I thought that, you want people to listen to this thing. I'm sorry. I don't understand the dynamic.
Absolutely not. All right. So let's finally talk about
how do we prep
Survivor
for this season? This upcoming, forget our 10th season.
Yes.
But the 45th season.
Oh.
And I want to say I did nothing. Nothing at all. Remembered that it was happening. Remembered what date it would happen, which is a leg up from other seasons. And, booked time off for the very next week. And that's it. So, yeah, and I just say that just to make clear that every opinion I'm about to express is solely based on the 90 minutes we were fed this week, which, of course, isn't even 90 minutes.
Yeah.
There was no pre-seasoning for me. How about yourself?
Yeah, that is important to note that we don't ingest the pre-game content anymore. We used to once upon a time. We don't do it anymore. We're just coming in fresh.
That's right.
Clear eyes.
Being on the virgin snow.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Canadianism. Hey, speaking of Canadian, we'll get into that.
Oh, yeah. Put a pin in it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's finally talk about the episode because, as we said, we did no prep. We don't want to have this spoiled for us, right? We're going in fresh, clear eyes. With those clear eyes, what did you think of this premiere episode?
I fucking hated it. I just did not like this episode at all. It took me to some dark places in myself that I'm going to get into. And just really, I'm almost out on this season already. I'm not. I think, the past has shown these things can turn around. But while watching from pretty early on in the episode, I was just like, oh. And it just kept going that way. So, yeah, that's my word of warning. I am going to spew just tons of negativity in here. And that is not designed to ruin anybody's fun time about how they personally felt about it, but rather just to accurately show the emotional response I had to this episode, which I just truly dislike this in ways that it's hard for me to even remember a season that I was this out on this early.
Oof.
Yourself?
Savage. I see, I have a different perspective on this because my thought is that I'm not bored, at least, right? I think the experience of 43, 43 reminded me, one of the worst things this show can be is boring. I might be annoyed at some things on this premiere, but at least I wasn't bored. I had such a visceral reaction to 43. And there's a long time thing that's just, I don't know why I am like this, but I hate the most plain survivors, plain and inoffensive survivors, because they've done nothing for me. And at least if this season is going to make me roll my eyes or cringe or whatever, that's something. 43 gave me nothing. And so that now I'm thus able to be you know what? I'll take this. Maybe I'm just lowering my standards.
Yeah, I mean, from a podcast perspective, I certainly have plenty to talk about for tonight. So, yeah, in comparison to a season where nothing's happening. But I mean, if you're doing season rankings, which we do, and you should check it out on our website, purplerockpodcast.com. Seasons like Gabon, where I can't stand anyone, much lower than ones where it's just that was kind of dull. And there was some Gaboni vibes.
And that's
down.
A great transition to talking about this cast. Because what was your impression of this group?
So this group of people, they're I would put them all in three different categories. All right. So there's the much larger than I would like after one episode group of people who I just completely can't fucking stand. So that's one group. The next group are people that I dislike.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a third group of people I don't dislike. There's not a group of people I like. There's not a person I like after that premiere. Just a bunch of like, and then, people I don't have an opinion on yet.
Right.
Hopefully those people will be there. Some of the people I dislike, I could end up liking. That has happened. I am a person who will turn their opinion around. But man, these fucking losers, I am getting sick of the collection of losers that Survivor has been doing since we got back from the pandemic, since 41. And some of the seasons were good. Some of the seasons were boring. But there just seems to be a consistent casting push towards a certain type that this episode just really underlined for me that I'm just sick of.
I think for me, and this is going to end up being a recurring theme, right? Like, I feel like Survivor has learned some of the wrong lessons. And like,
yes.
It's going to keep coming back tonight. Like, as I look at some of the things that we're going to discuss, like, there are so many things that like the show has done well, and then we'll try to recreate in some way. And it's like, no. I don't think you had the right takeaway from why that went well. Like, you got the spirit, but you don't quite have the execution. And it keeps coming up. And I sort of felt the same thing in watching the cast. There was, you don't want casts. You don't want to cast people that are like boring or that aren't going to elicit any kind of reaction. You maybe want some weirdos because you had Carolyn last season. She was great. Everyone we loved her. That's the most important thing. Maybe you want more of that, right? But then you look at this group and it's like, I think I see what you were going for. And it's not landing with me at all.
Yeah. And again, not yet. I already want to temper a few things, and then I'm going to go back to flying off the handle. When I call them losers, that's just like what I was feeling, okay? Are these people genuinely human losers? No. Of course not. And actually, yeah, maybe because it's the start of a new season, to remind some, to let new listeners know, I am not judging these people as the human beings they are in their real life, because I do not know the human beings they are in their real life. I will never know the people that they are in their real life.
Fingers crossed.
Not even if you point me towards some like interview. That's also not real life, okay? So what I'm viewing is my reaction to the presentation of these people through an edited program, okay? But it's just, I long for competency, and it's just like and it seems like it's become so like difficult a bar for recent Survivor casts to clear that the standards have dropped so low of like sympathy. It's like, what are we supposed to expect somebody to do these things? You should wait until you come out here and discover how hard it is. It's like, yeah, no, I get that it's hard. I watch because it's hard.
Yeah, I don't want to do it.
And well, again, I think I could do it better than some of these people who are complaining about it. Yes, because it's actually not that hard a bar to clear. We have had some incredibly incompetent physical people in the history of the show, and they could still do the things that people in this episode were struggling with. But because some reason we've just decided to move so far in one direction with casting that like we have to like temper our expectations to do like basic things. But more than that, I'm kind of just over the adorkable enthusiasm that starts every season. And that's why I was out like almost instantly. It's gone past a bunch of people being excited that they're on Survivor, which honestly was refreshing for a bit, especially post-pandemic. Hey, they're probably also just excited to get out of their houses. And now it feels like the price is fucking right, okay? It's just like people are just, I can't believe it.
The applause meter went on.
Fucking questions without bursting into tears. And it's just like, I'm not here to watch your fantasy Survivor experience. I'm here to watch Survivor, and I'm glad you're having this. I'm probably not. But, it's nice that you are. But I want some people who feel like they belong instead of just feeling like they're so lucky to be there.
And okay, so I have a slightly different thing that annoyed me. And I want to be clear that, I will eventually get to some things that I enjoyed about this episode. Unlike you, I'm not quite as down on it. I think there were parts that I liked, which we'll get to, maybe for weird reasons, but that's okay. I think the thing that really grated on me, and we'll end up talking about the cast later, but specifically, like, you and I both loved our boy JD back in 42, I think it was. Like, just oozing irrational confidence, this guy. Like, amazing. We loved it. It was genuine. He believed in himself like no one else would. And it was great to watch. Like, genuinely entertaining. And then this man comes out, Drew, with his whole two personas and like so confident in himself, blah, blah, blah. It's just, I don't believe it. You're selling me bullshit. I don't believe that you believe that. With JD, I had no doubts. He's not faking it. He is that guy. Like, Drew was just like, is this the fucking act you put on? Like, I'm not here to watch you act. If I want to watch people act, I'll watch a scripted show, which, writer's strike, I can't. But at some point I could. Or I could watch, old seasons where they used to do such things. But, yeah, I'm not here to watch him, play this character. Pass.
Yeah, no, like in their opening segment where they're, intersplicing them arriving with like little interview type segments. Yeah, there's just everything felt so much artifice. Like they had been practicing the personas they would be when they finally get the chance to be on Survivor someday. And yeah, man, it's like, can we go back to casting cool people at all ever? And again, I do want to make something clear, because I bet I would not be surprised if some people are listening to this and just being angrier at me than usually are. I am another thing that this episode is doing, and like while I'm watching and I'm just constantly annoyed by this stuff, is also I'm like kind of upset at myself, and then I'm upset at the show for making me feel this way. It's like I'm upset at the show for like bringing out the Republican in me or something.
Oh,
Just like, can you guys just nut up and do some things? Can people just, again, can we get some cool people? And when I say that, think of like some of your favorite characters in the past of Survivor. And then think about modern Survivor like casts and the way that they act and the way they're fawning over Jeff and mouthing out the words that he says. And again, just squealing with delight that the show is starting and, oh my God, we're at the marooning and it's all this happening. How would Courtney fit in to something like this? Tyson, Sandra, Parvati, we used to have people that felt pretty confident about being there and about being themselves. That, it's not a shock that they are people that are, becoming television stars. We don't get that anymore. And if you are that, you're not going to fit in at all. Instead, it's all just a bunch of Survivor dorks, of which, again, I'm doing this for 10 years on a podcast. I understand how, ridiculous it sounds. But when that's everyone, I think that we've lost something. And yeah, kind of getting into what you were saying, how Survivor thinks they found something that works and go too far. They've just gone too far. I think there was a good corrective when they started recasting and even some highlighting some superfans. There was some delight in that. You got to see some representation. But when everybody's a superfan, then who cares about anybody being a superfan?
Exactly.
And it feels like that's throughout the whole season, both with superfans and everything else. I'm going to lie about I'm a lawyer. This place is lousy with lawyers. What are we talking about? But this freaking Drew guy you're talking about. I'm just one of the smartest people who've ever been on Survivor. That's just a fact. When you go to an Ivy, do you think you're the only person in the show to be on an Ivy?
Every season, there are multiple. It just feels like it happens all the time.
Yeah, and it does. It feels like the thing, I don't know if they do it anymore, but it was a thing that they used to talk about, fantasy baseball camp. And I don't mean roto baseball, a bunch of people tracking stats to make fake teams. I mean you show up at the stadium for a weekend, they'd give you a little uniform, and there's some old timers, and you get to pretend like you're a baseball player. And that's what Survivor started to feel like in a lot of recent seasons. It's just a bunch of people that this is their dream, and I'm so fucking happy for you. But I am a viewer. It's not exciting for me that you're living your dream. I want to be entertained by you being somebody on television who feels like they should be there. We might get there, right? A lot of times they settle in, but like 90 minutes of that, and I'm tired of it. I need variety. That way, the dorks can be fun again. You know, I imagine most people listening, the kind of person that's going to like listen to fan-made podcasts and get deeper into the community, probably are more accustomed to rooting for underdogs. But when everybody's an underdog, nobody's an underdog.
Well, and here's the problem, right? Like, they should have learned from like every teen movie ever made, right? Like, the dorks, they need a foil, right? They need the like the cool jocks, the pretty girls. They need the people that they can, be the underdogs against. It's a group full of weirdos and nerds, which is fine. But like, how are you going to make me get invested then? Because, there's no popular kids to root against.
Yeah. David and Goliath was a great season. It wasn't David versus David, And it's just like, this is a show that always has been, always will be, a show that has a significant physical part to it. As fans, we've always diminished the importance of the physical part in terms of how it helps you win. But it's a part of the product. It's a thing that takes up significant airtime, and with these god-awful 90-minute episodes that we're going to have all season long, is going to take up like a lot of it. Could it kill them to cast people of some type of physical utility once in a while?
I mean, yeah, I think for me, the bigger concern is like, I want people who are genuinely themselves on the show. Like, I find like that was the thing that I loved so much about Carolyn and Jam Jam last season. Like, there was no aspect that, like, sure, would Jam Jam play it up to the camera? Yeah. Yes. You know why? Because that's who he is. He's probably that person just walking down the street. Like, he'll absolutely ham it up with a complete stranger. I don't feel like that was put on for the show. Carolyn was not faking that. That's the person that she is. I think it's.
But then, you get the Drews and Sifus, and it's and again, it just. I love us nerds. I'll say us. I mean, there's no denying at some point. Again, I'm doing what I'm doing. Socially awkwardness is part of it, and again, in a different setting in previous seasons, it's been adorable. It's been charming. Some of my favorites, right? But when everybody's a little socially awkward, it makes for like a more difficult TV presentation for me, I will say. And it's just, it was just the icing on the cake. And like, so we start with, everybody, doing the typical Survivor bluster. But again, when they just kept hooting and hollering so much, it felt like, Don Pardo, whatever it is, called them up to go play the pricing game. And it's like, I don't know, I just want a little, maybe arrogance would be nice again or something, just like within the mix.
Act like you belong here. Is that what you're going for?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, rookies who enter like new like sports leagues, they're excited. This is their dream. They've been working for it, but they also feel like they deserve this.
Right.
And it just feels like that's the story we've been getting now for 5 seasons. It's just a bunch of people being like, "Oh my God, I can't believe I'm here on Survivor," and then they get to camp. It's like, "Oh my God, I can't believe we're doing this thing," and "Oh my God," and it's just like, enough. You're on TV for my entertainment. Act like you've been there before.
Well,
even if you haven't,
So
then we get there, and then it's a challenge, and this isn't fair. And I'm going to say it right off the top. I do have sympathy if Brandon was genuinely having a panic attack. That is a serious matter that you have no control over. Now, I do want to note that there was no diagnosis, a lot of self-diagnosis, but it felt like I have no trouble believing that that's what's happening. But when I'm already feeling like we've cast a bunch of people who are like more excited to be on Survivor than equipped to be on Survivor, and then a guy can't like walk up a ladder, and then we have to act like going up a ladder is like this big epic struggle, and I'm angry at Survivor for sinking to such a level that climbing a ladder seems like this Herculean task. And again, that's my feeling as it's happening. As it goes on a little longer and he's crawling on the floor, I'm like, okay, there's probably something worse happened with this guy, right? But then when you get to other challenges, it still feels like just doing the basic parts of challenges, doing the basic parts of camp life just seems so like epically struggle. And of course, it's not helped by the fact that like the episode ends, or not even ends, is featured two people going back and forth about how much they want to quit because how hard everything is. And then we get a quit, and it's just like nothing helped change my mind that Survivor has like hurt itself by being a competition and not casting competitive people.
You know what? And this is not.
And again, it gets back to my like, I hate the show for making me feel this way. I seem like a barstool commenter or something like that. But,
but to your point, right? Like, not to sound like an Eliza, but wind it back to when Suri played this game for the first time, right? She's like afraid of leaves, but she didn't be like, oh my God, I'm done. She stuck it out and is genuinely one of the best players the show has ever had. Like, the woman who's synonymous with getting up off the couch. Like, she was terrified her first few days there, but then she's like, you know what? I'll figure it out. And she did, right? Like, these people, oh my God, I never thought it would be so hard. Yeah, it's probably going to be hard, but you know what? People worse than you have survived it. Like, come on.
Oh, and there's like this bevy of people looking to defend. And again, there's reasons to want to defend. For one, people get really awful on social media, and thus you have to defend because it's just terrible. Secondly, like I said, for Brandon specifically, it could very well have been a panic attack. And then Hannah, we'll get into Hannah, right? But it's just like, oh, I'd like to see you try. It's like, look, man, I don't feel like I'm acting like I'm like, Mark Wahlberg. I'm just built different by saying that, yeah, I think I could have gotten up that rope ladder. I'm just saying. And it's not like he was struggling to do something hard. Everybody else did it. You know how I know that people can do the Survivor stuff? Because I've seen it for 45 seasons. And somehow for this episode, we had to act like this was the hardest struggle ever put through humanity. And it really just might be this episode. Because the story of this episode is one just fucking dismal tribe with somebody who ends up quitting and somebody who's just failing health-wise. It might not be the season. I want to make clear, I am fully ready to like embrace this season if it turns around. And in fact, I'm also excited that I'm not watching it next week and kind of taking a week off so I can let it sit and see if, it bounces back. Not looking forward to watching like 3 hours in 1 week, but that would have been true no matter what this year is like. But just like through this, and again, it's like, I don't like feeling this way, that it's like, suck it up, buttercup feeling. But throughout the entire episode, that's just the way that the show is making me feel. And it's funny because I'm trying to be positive. I'm thinking, hey, Suri, she was afraid of the leaves. And I wasn't big on Carolyn after the premiere episode last season. And look at that. So, some of these kooks and, these people that are struggling, but it's just like, Suri was notable because she was the only person like that in her cast. That's not true. At all.
So let's discuss the elephant in the room, the Lulu tribe. Like, this was the majority of the stuff that we care about. Like, we'll talk about everything else, but like, come on. This was the central focus of the episode. And honestly, I don't know that I wouldn't say that I liked it. I kept watching. I kept thinking, how are they getting worse? Like, everything I learned about that tribe, I was like, ooh, that seems bad. And it just kept happening. Like, it's layers of like, ooh, wow, I wasn't expecting that. And ooh, damn, that seems worse than I expected. It just kept happening, scene after scene for 90 minutes, to the point that I'm like, is this a parody? Is this Survivor punking us? And like, then the real episode's going to come out next? Like, are they pretending to be this bad at this? Because some of the things, which
oh my God,
we'll get to, but there were some things that I was like, these people are all Survivor superfans, but have they seen the show? Do they think it's a different show? Have they been watching something else and they're confused?
I'm glad I can laugh about this now because all of the episode I was just, and I was trying not to because I'm watching with my wife. I don't want to spoil like her feeling, but I could also feel every time that the Lulu tribe does something, she shoots a look over at me like, are they serious? And I'm trying not to look back because I'm trying to keep an open mind. But yeah, every time we see a Lulu scene, it's like, oh my God, this person is the worst. Except that it was a different person frequently. And you get to this point where it's like, okay, there's this person who is like instantly hateable. And then there's this guy who, God bless him, is struggling with every aspect of the experience. Oh, no, wait, there's this woman who acts kooky and also is already talking about quitting. And then they talk about aliens.
It was...
And it's not those three people.
It was like a tribe of first boots, but there can only be one.
They made the whole tribe out of first boots.
It was...
It's like the plane with the black box.
Oh my God. It was... What a reference. Genuinely...
You get one moron saying that I don't know if I can be here. I can't handle this, so I'm going to play my shot in the dark. Do you understand what the shot in the dark?
Oh my God. I can't. You know what's insane? So much terribleness happened with that tribe. I almost forgot the shot in the dark thing.
I literally just remembered right now.
There was, oh my God, the very first time they're still on the boat, and Emily starts talking, and I'm like, I mean, this seems unnecessary. But then she can't just be done. She's got to double down and go after Bruce. And like we're talking earlier, I was talking earlier about like learning the wrong lessons. Like, absolutely, a lesson that you would take from this show is like, get the target off yourself, put it on someone else. What are you doing? He's
not on your tribe.
She's not on your tribe. Oh, are they going to vote him out for you? Like, what do you think is the outcome of this? What is the motivation behind this? I genuinely want to know. Like, are you playing a post-merge game right now? You haven't even like gotten to your camp yet. What the hell is happening? Yeah. It's just, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, let's talk about Emily now. This honestly, if nothing else, to give Brandon a break for a bit, because there's sympathy that exists in me for him, while I also wish that he was never on the show that I watch. We'll get into that. So I'm having these feelings of like, God damn, why is it every season just this another collection of hapless folks? Which is just the vibes that was wafting off of them for me. And then we get Emily. It's like, God damn, she is... I don't know if I've ever disliked a character faster than her. And it starts with the opening thing where it's like, if I don't win, I wish I just go home first. Because you're just like this, the second place is just the first loser bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And now, after seeing her for an episode, I at least got to give her props that she is truly about that life. Because she was clearly playing in a way that it shows she wanted to... if she isn't going to win, she'd be the first boot because she should have been the first boot. She's worried. Yeah, she's targeting people because it's like, we got to worry about them like 6 votes from now. No, you don't actually have to worry about anything. You literally have 2 people volunteering to go.
We shit on the idea of the under the radar game because it is boring TV. Genuinely, all she had to do was exist for those first 2 to 3 days. And honestly, she would have been fine. It was a race to the bottom in that tribe. She just, by standing still, you're improving your position. Like,
yeah, so go back. She initially speaks out on Bruce. And I'll be honest, because I hadn't memorized any of this stuff. And, the level of attention you're taking in all this information, you should probably know colors, but it wasn't. I'm like, oh, wow. that's going to be tough on that tribe. Like, I thought she was in Bruce's tribe when she first says. And then, it kind of pans out a bit like, that lady isn't even with him. Why are you saying this? And it's like, okay, fine. She said her thing. This is a thing also that, like, people now that are on Survivor really know, I got to say stuff. I got to get in the edit. I got to be present now.
Gotta get that screen time.
And honestly, yeah, that's another thing. It's gone too metatextual. From the cast and the way that the show has been developed. So, and then she goes in, like, and so he says something. Okay, fine. She said her piece. He said her piece. She doubles down. She's like, no, I'm not having that. And it's just like, what is your problem?
Right.
I don't even, like, if she had said all of that in a confessional, I would have been like, yes. But it's like, you get that there's a bunch of people around here, right? Like, this is the time not to say much. Maybe, again, throw something funny. I get it. Be on the camera. That's fine. I want people who want to entertain, right? But nah, she's just like, all right, that's one that I got that, pelt. It's just attacking right away. And then they get to the beach. There's two people that, are doing the sweat versus Abby. And instantly she's like, if they don't do something, we should go after them. It's like, calm down, lady. It's just just instantly like, okay, I hate her. And then it just kept getting worse.
All right. You know what, though? Here's where it helped to instantly hate her, right? Like, skipping ahead, but when it gets to the part where she's talking about, Sabia and Caleb.
Obviously a pair.
Well, no. She's talking about them being like the physical players or the strength of the tribe or whatever. And Sabia, amazing burn, was like, yeah, we didn't really ask to be the strength of the tribe. It was genuinely, like I was saying, everyone else is so fucking bad. By default, it had to be them. In any other tribe, it would have been somebody else. It's just that they had to do it because they were the somehow least physically inept. It wasn't that they were the strongest and the best. It's just like, well, look around. What are you going to do?
Yeah, like one of you almost died, like taking a short boat ride. Like,
right.
We don't have a lot of options here.
Right.
And as the rest of the episode would show, not those weren't good options either. Like, Sabia also not that very good at physical stuff.
Nope.
Despite, a past training for, being a Navy SEAL or whatever it was.
I think it was just, wow, that's some Survivor job inflation there. I think it was just she was in maybe the Marines.
Yeah, man, I don't know. The military means nothing to me.
Sure.
We can't even fly our troops places. I don't care. But yeah, anyway, and then the coup de grace. No, actually, so then there's even a moment where like Emily almost could like maybe win us back a bit, as she's the only person to properly, not in the moment in the way she does it because she's her, express annoyance, confusion, shock, and exasperation that apparently she's on a tribe full of people who believe that the pyramids were built by aliens.
You remember, I'm assuming, because you're very online, you remember the meme of the guy with the big crazy hair, right? And it's just like, it says aliens. Like, the whole point of that is we're making fun of him. Like, that was a joke because he's wrong and dumb. That's why that meme exists. And she, and maybe others, I mean, the only one I'm willing to say is like, Sabia has wholeheartedly embraced this theory. The others were maybe not as adamantly agreeing. I'm not going to necessarily shit on them. Maybe they're just playing along. Who knows?
Yeah.
But like, what the fuck? And as someone who, I have had the experience of listening to some wild ass COVID conspiracy theories at my job. Like, it was a long, dark period of years there. Like, it just, this is my advice to the tribe members that did not agree with this insane alien bullshit. Just turn to her like a 3-year-old and just say why to everything that she's claiming. You're not going to convert him, but like, just plumb the depths of how stupid these theories are. Because the confidence with which she's saying, like, we all know this is true, right? No, we have.
You know who built the pyramids, right? And I'm like, okay, is she about to teach the lesson that it actually wasn't slaves, but, highly trained labor? Oh, she dropped aliens. And then, frankly, you could be like, why? And she's like, oh, but, the antechambers are better for batteries.
Sure. Like, no. I would keep going. Why? What kind of batteries are there? Is it lithium ion? Or is there like what is this shit? Why?
These are the people we have to root for in that tribe. And I want, we have laughs. But here's the thing. People who believe in conspiracy theories often don't stop at just the quirky one.
There you go.
Like, this can be really dangerous stuff, Again, it's funny to say, oh, yeah, birds don't exist or whatever, but I don't get that she was saying this ironically.
No, she absolutely wasn't.
Goddamn, So Emily has a chance of winning her sympathy, and then she just keeps fucking talking. And then the coup de grace is, well, we know that Caleb and Sebia are together, because they're physical. Okay. Look, man, I'm okay to try to collect more evidence, but just suspect. All right. The whole, we know they're together, attacking Bruce as part of your resume as well. You're suspect, Emily. And since I already hate you, I'm not inclined to give you the benefit of the doubt. And again, TV hate, I don't know her. I will never know her.
Hopefully.
I suppose at least one positive that came from all this is that it's just amazing that the season, after 45 years, the show finally casted Emily, and she is just fucking awful.
For us, what a blessing.
So great.
Right? Yeah. So...
And look, man, I could see Brandon getting better, right? For one, again, he might have been recovering from something really serious.
I mean, I know you're rooting for him. You're a big "Let's Go Brandon" guy.
Absolutely.
You're constantly saying "Let's go Brandon." You say it so much. The season hadn't even premiered. I was just like, who? And then obviously the season started, and I'm like, oh, Andy's just been cheering for Brandon the whole time. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, clearly he's probably a friend because of Survivor fandom.
Clearly,
he could get also better not having a fellow quitter to like commiserate with constantly, and maybe that didn't help. Again, but what can I do, man? I'm watching this constantly happen on my TV. Two people just belly aching over how this is so hard. I shouldn't be here, and it's like, I agree. You guys should not be here,
man.
So many of you should not be here.
So let's stick with it. God, why is there so much to talk about? Like, that's so depressing. How is there so much to talk about?
This is why I hated it. It just put me in this place. It's like, you get to this thing is like a thing that I've enjoyed longer than most of these people, by the way. Some of them barely alive when I started enjoying it.
So here's the thing, though. Like, I would absolutely be on board with this, and I honestly loving it. If the other two tribes were just loaded with competent, fun, entertaining players, then having a tire fire of a tribe, great. That is going to enhance the season. Here, I am not filled with confidence that the other tribes are going to lift us out of this depth that we're plumbing.
Yeah. It can certainly happen. Nothing in this episode made me think, oh, yeah, no, we'll be fine.
Right.
And again, it just keeps getting back to like, you went too far, Survivor.
Well,
I even agree with the idea that the show can't really just go out and recruit people unfamiliar with it. I think that the meta of the game is gone so far that if you have just somebody who's just a complete neophyte, they can fuck it all up by basically not doing anything.
Right.
The way Ghost Island did. Although, again, Ghost Island didn't have someone. They had a whole lot of someones,
Right.
So, like, I get it, but you've gone too far. You can't just have one type. You can't everybody be just geeking out about being on Survivor. You need some people to be like, yeah, man, of course I'm on Survivor. I can't believe it took this long. I'm that damn good. You need some people that can lift something every once in a while. That's not even my type. I just need it as part of the mix. So that, frankly, I can appreciate some of the people that are operating on the other level, but I can't now because all this. And then we get somebody we get two people competing over how it's too hard for them. What?
This
isn't even day 3, I don't think so, because this is a shorter, like we keep saying, they're ready to quit on day 3, and I don't obviously know, but it could have been day 2, right?
Right.
Like, these are shorter time periods covered by the episodes is what we're used to.
So, one thing... Man, I feel so bad to keep shitting on Brandon, but come on, man. At the tribal council,
I don't think that. Let's see, just straight up right now. He had a panic attack. I will accept that as what happened. I don't think it's the only reason why he sucked. You know?
So exactly, and that's the thing is, I am absolutely gonna abstain from making any references to his. Because honestly, some of the things that he described with the chest pains and stuff, that could be it. I'm not going to diagnose.
Yeah, no, and instantly, when you're seeing it, that's what I was thinking. But then he did talk about how he's got kind of an acid reflux thing.
Yeah, but I mean,
which again isn't anything controllable by him, but it's also could account for some of the pain. I think the guy was too geeked up to be there. Again, he was crying just talking to Probst. So that's would probably put you in a place where, just the sensory overload does stuff to you. Not anything you can control, but also probably not indicative that this guy's going to be a smooth operator.
So, well, here's the thing that I can absolutely mock him for. That has nothing to do with that whatsoever. Because at the tribal council, he's telling Probst that the big thing that he brings to the tribe is basically that he's going to make other people feel good. He's again,
your number one ally is quitting here tonight, buddy.
So Survivor. The other thing, he's this longtime fan of the show. Has he never noticed that the vast majority of Survivor casting through 44 seasons before he got on is just a lot of self-absorbed people. That is honestly the defining characteristic of a lot of people that Survivor has cast, right? Those people do not need external validation. So the one thing you are claiming that you bring to it is something absolutely useless. And those people do not need to dispel the notion they think they're great. They don't need you to be yeah, man, you're amazing. No, that they already think that. Maybe this tribe in particular doesn't. Maybe this is the one time in history where that might have worked out. But man, that's the thing you're saying you're bringing? Come on.
Yeah, and here's another thing about the show, just steering so far away from their traditional casting template. And again, it needed to be steered away from to some degree.
Sure.
But it wasn't completely broken. It's the great balancer for a lot of the people who were otherwise physically hapless is why I can bring the mental game, but all these dorks do this stuff. So it's you're not even do I feel like Brandon's gonna perform well under pressure in a puzzle? I don't. He could because we didn't see it, but I'll be the puzzle guy. It's there's probably 10 puzzle people. It's not helping yourself there,
right? Yeah,
we get to tribal council, and I'm can we vote out 4 of these people?
Well, and there's the problem, right? You have to pick one, and that's the limiting factor. It's oh no, this is bad because it's like going to a buffet and it's just too many choices. You want it all, and you want it all right now, and you can't. You have to pick one, and they were going to pick one, and then someone else says, "No, you can't because I've decided it's gonna be me." I don't know how much more clearly I can state this. It's going to be me. And it's just, man, again, in the race to the bottom, she was no.
That was an intense fucking race.
Maybe
that's what I just need to view this show from the opposite land that it is, The actual competitions that we see, not all that exciting because it doesn't feel like there's any level of excellence through 90 minutes. Again, caveat. But wow, the race to the bottom was
she snatched that fucking crown. Just yank. No one is taking this from me. This is mine.
So even there, I was deeply annoyed. Sorry, you're about to say something.
Well, no, I was just going to ask, did the fact that she was so adamant about quitting, did that bother you?
Not about quitting. There's no bigger supporter in the entire Survivor fandom community of quitting than this guy. But if you're gonna quit, just fucking do it. You know, like, she couldn't even do that. That's how much she sucked, is that she couldn't actually quit. She talked about quitting. She talked about how it wouldn't be fair to all these people who want to be here more than I do, that I would still be around. Well, then fucking quit. How about that? Sack up and quit. Like, they're making me sound like an 80s baseball coach. But it's just, but no, she wouldn't even do that. It's like this whole song and dance. Like, I would just respected her so much more if she had actually quit. And I would have respected it even more if she had waited till they voted somebody out.
And here's my thinking. I don't care if she quits. I don't know her. Like, sometimes, you know what? I'm also a supporter of quitting. Sometimes you find out that you're just not about that life and you move on. And that's great. You should do that. That is a genuine skill that you should practice in your life, right? Like, you should be able to realize this ain't me and just be done. And you know what? She gave me a little bit of entertainment before she quit. Not a ton, but that's okay. First boots usually don't. So I'm like, okay, fine. But I am also watching this program with my wife. And she was like, wait a minute. She's like, did she just go out to Fiji, suffer for like 2 days, get an all expenses paid trip out there, and now she's going to get a pre-jury trip? My wife is like, this woman is brilliant. She's like, now I want to be on this show so I can quit. She's like, I never would have thought of applying for Survivor in my life. Now I want to. She's like, I just want to like go out there and be like, well, it's been real peace. And then just go off on that pre-jury trip. Like, honestly, well done to her.
Yeah, again, it's just like this passive aggressive. I don't want to be here, but I'm not going to say I'm quitting. It's just par for the course for just all the problems I'm having with not just this cast, but just kind of the direction Survivor has taken. I need some fucking alphas in my life in this program for this show, not for everything. Most of them, like in Survivor history, I probably would not want to be in a conversation with. But for the show, I need some, and she couldn't even do that. So then we get into this, and then Probst is like, he's obviously sensing, like she's dancing around it without saying it, right? Trying to get them all to vote for her. Like, wait, are you quitting? And I understand his motivations. He's trying to save the episode and all that. It's just like, well, what if they vote and they vote somebody else and then she quits? Well, let's just handle this now so we're clear. That was a mistake.
Well, see, here's the thing is he's thinking as an executive producer, like, uh-oh, we need to stretch this thing out. We need to have enough episodes this season. We might have to go 90 minutes. You know, CBS has already given us a quick call. Like, ooh, he can't have her, like, going past this vote and then quitting. Like, he had to take care of business right then. Yeah,
I fully believe that was the motivation. I believe he said as much. Third-hand information from people that might listen to his podcast. No, man, I would have been so much happier if they vote, and they vote out Emily, a person I can't stand and do not want to watch, and then she quits, and I lose 2 people I can't stand that I did not want to watch. Instead, this robbed me of that opportunity of, like, you know, really cutting down and maybe getting to something that I like more. Instead, now there's going to be, oh, no, is it Emily? Is it not? Is she going to play her shot in the dark? Oh, this is like, if you're not really going to quit, then you didn't quit. It's like, oh, well, I could make this decision for you, then do it. Because if you're not going to do it, then we're going to do what we want to do.
You know what?
And they should have just done that. Like, I'm not like mad that they went with the verbal vote and then just went ahead with it. I get it. It's fine. Whatever. And I'm not mad at all that she quit because I'm happy that she's not on the show anymore. I just wish that she had actually quit. If she had actually had the courage of conviction to stand up and say, I am a quitter. I am quitting. Instead of, oh, well, I don't want to be here, so vote me out. That's just the worst.
Well, you know what, though? You also mentioned wanting the chance to move on to something that you like more. And you know what? Let's do that on this podcast right now.
Yes.
Because I got something just for you. We're going to play Guess the Secret Canadian. It's time.
It's time. Everybody's favorite postseason 40 game. And before we get started, for a really quick introduction, we kind of did this on the fly one season. Where it's like, well, I hear there's a Canadian. And because neither John and I, the pro Survivor podcasters that we are, have done any research on this, we're like, there might be one. And I want to say, unlike last year where I was spoiled like the day before we recorded, I have not been spoiled at all. I do not know who the secret Canadian is. If there's a secret Canadian, if there are multiple secret Canadians, I know nothing. This is blind impressions from the episode, who I think the Canadian is. And how about you? Are you in the same boat?
So, well, I was. And you know what? I was putting together the fantasy league, and I saw a thing. Now, I don't want to give anything away. I will absolutely, because I want you to have this. I'm not going to take this joy out of your life. So I'm going to let you. No, I'm going to let you give your opinions first, and then I will come back with mine.
And then can you tell me if I'm right or wrong?
I will do that.
Okay. Because I was going to be like, you let us know in comments, so I'm not going to check. All right. So I believe there's a secret Canadian this season. So I'm not going to guess nobody. I'm just going for one, though. I think it's Jay Maya. That's my guess. I think that she's my countryman.
Okay.
So to speak, country person.
Right.
From where I am from, but probably nowhere near me because it's a big, big country.
It is a big country. Like only like 150th of it is actually lived in, but the rest of it it's a big country. Like you live in a very narrow strip of it, but it's a big country.
We all do.
Yes. All right. So the answer that I can give you is I don't know if you are correct because I only saw one thing, and that's the fact that Caleb is Canadian. I know nothing about anybody else. And so I would say if there's a second Canadian, Brando kind of give me some Maple Flag vibes. Like I had a little bit of touch of the like, that guy? I don't know. Just there was something about him that made me think, he knows O Canada. He knows the whole song.
All right, so I looked it up. I am wrong. It's not Jay Maya. Part of the vibe was just, well, for one, she kind of just looks like some people I know in Canada. So there's that.
Come on.
Also, probably like millions of other people in the world, but whatever. And then, like I'm a musician or whatever. Man, Canada's lousy with musicians you've never heard of because it's like all of them, So I was like, hey, that could be it.
They all want to be the next Alanis.
Like obviously, you eventually hear of them when they're popular in the United States.
That's right.
But nope. Hey, so I just looked up Brando.
Yeah.
No, but closer than you'd think.
Okay.
He lives in Seattle.
Okay.
Which, for my money, is like the most Canadian of Americans.
It's like South Vancouver.
Pretty much. Which I guess is also where Caleb is from. He grew up in Port Coquitlam and is in which is kind of just outside of Vancouver.
Sure.
And then is in Vancouver. So there you go.
All right.
It's also nice to see because a lot of it's been like around the Toronto area. So I'm glad we're branching out. I guess we had the doofus last year from Moose Jaw. But all right. So I was wrong. I could not pick the Canadian.
Devastating.
If there's a second Canadian, we still don't know. We won't tell us. We're not going to keep this game going.
Right.
Well, I didn't hear any I didn't hear any Canadian accents. Now, two things. I can't really hear a lot of Canadian accents, obviously.
You live it.
I'm not aware of the one that I am currently using,
right.
For instance. Obviously, if they sound like they're on Letterkenny or something, then I could pick that out. But otherwise, I wasn't hearing any of that. Obviously, like you could rule some people out. It's like I think Jake is probably not Canadian, for instance.
Oh yeah, you get that vibe, do you?
Yeah, my detective skills kind of picked that one out. But yeah, so let us know if there's anybody else. And okay, well, despite the possibility that he was signing off on the idea that the pyramids were built by aliens, I guess Caleb is the person I'm rooting for now.
Yeah. All right, let's fly through these other tribes. They don't deserve much of our attention.
Anything, so let's go.
But all right, let's talk about the Reba tribe, the Red tribe. What were your thoughts?
So some of them we already touched on, like Drew just out.
Yeah.
As soon as he started talking.
Oh.
And just hilarious that it's like, well, because of the ivy. It's like, man, it's probably like, how many, there are more people who went to Ivy League and played Survivor than of like one Survivor, like by a significant margin, Yeah. It's really not that unique a thing. So I'm going to need more from you, Drew, to prove that you're some kind of super genius. And I don't think I'm going to get it. Sifu just felt too mannered to me. Like, he feels of like the genre of characters that we've enjoyed greatly, but he doesn't have it.
Yes, agreed. Like, I will grant that he has some personality, but I don't know if I like it. Like, I don't know if it feels like enjoyable again and genuine. Like, it's not landing with me yet. I will give him that,
it could happen.
Maybe as we go along, some things happen and I'm like, hey, you know what? Growing on me. But right now, no, not landing.
Yeah. And then I'm now less interested in J. Maya because she's not Canadian.
As she should be. I think isn't she also, didn't they mention that she went to an Ivy as well and dropped out or something?
Something. I know that she was like wanted to hear Drew's poetry or some garbage.
Oh boy.
But no, she's being nice, man.
Sure.
Somebody says they're a poet. So I think that's a smart.
I am not that nice. I'd be like, I'm actually busy right now. I'm going to go weave some palm fronds that Bruce just told me were wildly ineffective. I'm going to do it anyway.
Because that happened on the Belo tribe. Let's talk about them.
Sure.
The highlight of that was absolutely Bruce being like, this is a complete waste of time. And I think actually that did happen after we probably saw the Reba tribe, or at least one of the other tribes, weaving palm fronds. So my reaction there is like, these losers don't even know that you shouldn't do that. And then we get to there, and these losers didn't either. And then, Bruce said it, and they seem very put off by him saying this.
Right.
And in some ways, I get it. It's right. God damn it, it's right. Now,
it's your favorite meme. Right, why are you booing me? I'm right.
Being right doesn't always matter. Survivor has actually shown this time and time again. And I can understand that they were maybe a little annoyed because Bruce has already annoyed them, and he's gotten to that place where anything he says is going to annoy them. And yeah, maybe they were like, oh man, why are you ruining my vibes, man? I just wanted to come on Survivor and weave some palm fronds. Maybe they even I knew it was useless, but I was hoping nobody else would, so I could look like I was doing something while contributing absolutely nothing, which I believe has been true of so many people who've done palm frond weaving in the past. Thank you, Survivor. The one good thing you did this episode was at least putting it out there. You guys are all wasting your time. There are other ways you can sit around and chat. Start whittling. Obviously, they couldn't. They don't have the machete or whatever. But that part I liked. I don't know if there was anything else that stood out for me. How about you?
See, the one thing that I would do, like this tribe has taught me, just if ever you're on Survivor, just casually, like middle of a conversation with someone, say, what kind of law did you say you practice? Just say it to everyone, just to gauge their reaction. Because apparently, like, lawyers are convinced they can never tell you that they're a lawyer, which is wild. Like,
yeah.
If I ever played this game, I feel like that would be my whole strategy. I would just be spreading rumors that everyone's a lawyer. Actually, you know what? I was talking to Caleb over there. He mentioned law practice, but then he quickly changed the subject. You're like, I think he's a lawyer. Just throwing that out there, to just submarine other people's games by calling them a lawyer. I guess the way that you elevate that as a thing that's going to make people well, I could never vote for a lawyer to win this game. Hey, really?
Yeah, is it a cultural difference? Because, like, in Canada, we just do not have as many lawyers as you do in the United States. It's actually kind of a problem. We need more. Not to the degree that you guys have. You have way too many, and thus become, like, just an unworkable, litigious society.
Yes.
But is it like that? Is it like, oh, man, I really got to be careful because either A... people think so highly of my profession that it'll become danger, or maybe B, everybody knows a lawyer that's made them hate all lawyers, you know?
I mean,
A-lab,
a little bit of column B, honestly.
Okay.
But also, like, I think that their thinking is that people are going to think all lawyers are both smart and rich. And having met many lawyers, a lot of times both of those things aren't true. So I don't know. It reminds me of the thing where Tony didn't want to tell people he was a cop because people are going to think like cops are so strategic and like smart. And I'm like, are they really? That's what we're going with.
So I was annoyed by it, right? Like, God, everybody thinks they're so fucking special with their job.
For real.
And then we get a scene where somebody's like, we should probably vote this person out because they're a lawyer. Like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
I guess it's true. Like, what is it, Kendra targeting Jake because he's that? And then it's like, we're like, what, a season, maybe 2, I can't quite remember, removed from like people actually being like, we got to target them because they're a salesperson? I think that's probably because Cody, I think, was lying about being in sales or whatever. And it's just like, sales? Really? Isn't that like one of the most common jobs anywhere? Isn't like almost every company need somebody to sell the thing that they produce? So it's like, and now like we're worried about salespeople. So I'm like, well, I guess maybe people are worried about lawyers. Like, I think it's ridiculous. That said, retroactively, it might not have been his given reason, but yes, you should lie about being a cop because they're all bastards, and I wouldn't vote for one. That's just...
Never heard this expression before.
Unless it was Tony, I would absolutely vote.
Well, yeah. Going around the rest of the tribe, though, like the Kendra, why?
I wish Kendra was the most annoying person on this.
Why is Kendra this way, though? I feel like this is again the wrong lesson taken from the Carolyn thing. Like, Kendra is definitely weird. That is correct.
Yes. I believe it's genuine.
Yes, but it's not fun. Like, again, you're missing the elements. You're for great value store branding this shit, and it's just so frustrating.
I know, because it's like the 3D printed version of Carolyn.
It really is. It's like the AI generated thing, and it's just got like 3 arms, and like the teeth are coming out of the ear for some reason, but the rest of it looks fine. It's the same thing here. Like, what? You had some elements, and you're like, that's going to be our Carolyn type. No. She's not fun. I'm not enjoying myself. I don't get it.
I don't want to be the guy who's like, oh, astrology, how dumb. But when it kept coming up, I'm like, okay, find a new track, right? Like, it's just, I get it, okay? It's fine, whatever. I think it's stupid, but people are allowed to like stupid things, you know?
Sure.
And then there's also a school of thought that like men get like overreact, and I think it's fair to suggest that because men do that with so many things. I'm comfortable in the idea that my annoyance and thinking astrology is dumb is not sexist, because I think so many things that guys are into are very dumb, maybe dumber, right?
Some things that we personally are into are also dumb.
That too, but like, you know, I'm not like the guy who's like, I can't believe these ladies and their stupid astrology. Now, have you heard my story about this crypto? Right? Like, that's all just dumb bullshit. So I'm fine that I can categorize that. And again, this is one of the instances where my wife was far more annoyed than I was. But the problem is just like, and this is something that maybe, this is me, and I got to worry about it. It wasn't just that she was, kind of really trying hard to be quirky and the astrology stuff, but also so very like millennial about it all. And it's just like, maybe even not millennial. I think 30 is still millennial. I don't know. Is that true?
Yeah.
You guys can tell me in the comments. It's right around, so maybe it'd be worse, right? Gen Z, because honestly, millennial, not that far off from who I am, right? So they don't really bother me, despite the vast differences that Survivor taught us about it. Mm-hmm. That my generation, Gen X, believed in hard work. Not really what the movies of Gen X was telling me, but okay. I mean, I feel like when a definitive text is literally called Slacker, but nope, Survivor knew what they were talking about. But yeah, it was just all this millennial astrology talk, and it's just like, and like all I say is, I still wish that she was the most annoying person on this show, you know? Then it would be like, okay, yeah, no, there's always going to be somebody, and she's the bottom, but there are depths below her, and that's a problem. So, she should be the person I like the least, and she's certainly in that group of people I dislike a lot.
So was there anybody that you did like?
Not really. Like, whatever. It's nice they brought Bruce back. Like, if you believed there was a reason for him to be on the show, then it makes sense to bring him back, because as I think you've rightly stated, he wasn't really on the last one. But I wasn't really interested in him then. I'm not really all that interested now.
Same. I have never spent a moment of my life thinking about Bruce. Like, I was never like, oh man, need that guy back. Forgot him as soon as he was gone.
Yes. Again, I don't do this to pick on her. I do this for perspective of, like, as you know, super fans can just lose it. My wife, who's watched almost every episode of this show right there with me, was like, who the hell is that? That's where we're at.
Yep.
And so, and he just so far gives vibes of an archetype of which I don't really like. I don't mind their presence in the show, because usually it's a familiar beat. It results in them not winning, often going early. Fine. You know, maybe he can bring some of the alphaness that I feel is so lacking. Except that one of his takeaways is, I can't be like that. But yeah, here's a question. Do you believe that one of the women of Belo is going to get voted out first, despite all their proclamations to the opposite?
Sure. I'm never going to doubt that on Survivor.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably the safer bet. Right. If I'm asking you to put money, it's like, that's going to come up, heads more often than not.
Exactly.
That's already the vibe I got when they like, oh, we're going to battle against this, we're going to do this. And then at some point, I think Katura and Kelly would be like, we got to get rid of Kendra.
I mean, it'd be great. It would certainly elevate Katura and Kelly in my eyes. So.
Well, yeah. You just started because Kendra's all like doing this, and then it's like, but what if we got rid of Jake? And they're like, wait, the one person that's going to help me get through this phase with the physical part, that's who you want to target? Like, why don't we? If you would have said Bruce, I think they would have been like, yeah, that sounds great.
Right.
So they might just get to a point where it's like, yeah, okay, we can't work with her. Which I'll always say, I understand why women want to stick together, especially in the beginning phase. That's why surrender the power. But it's more important to find people that will work with you and help your game than it is to, combat some, perception for, women everywhere within this game. Because this is a selfish game. This is a zero-sum game, unlike life. How about you? Any other reactions to Belo?
Not really. I mean, again, just the bulk of my thoughts were just on that Lulu tribe. Like, what is happening?
Yeah.
What is going on there?
And that's why I have some a belief that I'm not going to hate this season necessarily. Is that this was an episode structured around one of the worst tribes I've ever seen. So, of course, it's going to feel like even more hapless than possible, right? Like, if Reba had just somehow lost because somebody like breaks a leg in the middle of something, then the entire tenor of the episode would have felt differently, and I wouldn't have felt like, look at how far we've done fell. This as a Survivor community. It's like, maybe I'm just insulted that this is what they believe representation is for Survivor fans. Because like, I am not a strong person, but I can do stuff. I can do hard stuff.
Phrasing.
Yeah.
I know it's also the episode title, but still. Phrasing.
Both and yes. Like, what? You don't need to make us look this way, man. Hey, real quick, because it's long and I doubt we have deep thoughts, but they did change the sweat versus savvy bit. Any reaction to that?
I mean, I had never really gotten much out of that thing. Like, I cared ever so slightly when they would do savvy as a team, just to see how they interacted with each other to make the decision. But beyond that, like, I don't care. I don't care what supplies they have at camp. Like, I'm not invested in that. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like, so you make it team versus team. Okay, fine. That's an interesting twist. You're gonna finally get a loser. That'll be the first time. But why also versus time? You know, it's like,
right.
And the cumulative effect of that is yet another scene where the people on the show can't do anything correctly. Like, they just keep sending me the signal that these are losers who lose. You know, it's like you robbed another a potential victory for no reason. Like, it would have been so far more satisfying to see someone solve a puzzle. Instead, we're just like, oh, that was a giant waste of time.
I mean, to their credit, and we'll give Survivor 1 point in their favor this week. Like, we'd complained last season, like, stop reusing the same puzzles. They did. They didn't use the same puzzle. This was new.
Yeah, no, that's great. I would have loved to see it solved. You know?
Yeah.
Again, somebody's going to lose.
Sure.
You don't also need the clock.
Agreed. All right.
We watched a 0-0 tie.
Anything else you want to talk about this episode?
Not even a little bit. Yeah, just like I said, I won't be here next week, so hopefully next time you hear from me, I'll be in a much better mood. I did actually wonder while watching it, it's like, am I just in a bad mood? Like, is it not even the fault of this episode? And I'm not ruling that out. But literally, my wife asked her, I finally let out a complaint, and she's like, "Oh, thank God! I thought it was just me. I was wondering if I was just in a bad mood." It's like, okay, well, that's two. Now, look, would it be the first time in history we were both in a bad mood at the same time? Yes, absolutely, first time.
Of course.
But I come on, Survivor, get the mix right. That's all I want. If you're gonna have a competition, I'd like to see competitors. I'm weird that way.
Yeah. Crazy how that works. I want to say, obviously, we were shitting on a large part of the cast this weekend. So, if any of them happen to be listening, which, it happens, players listen to our show. I just want to, specifically give a shout out to Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. I just want to tell that guy, give him some encouragement. I feel like he's probably hearing that a lot these days, the Let's Go, Brandon. It's a whole big thing. He's got a lot of fans out there. So we're just if you want to join keep cheering him on.
You can post to the show and hashtag Let's Go Brandon.
Oh my God. Also, I want to keep this going, right? But I'm so worried.
I gotta get it in now. I know it might not happen next time we talk. Honestly, God bless. Hopefully,
Man, actually, I'm so worried that someone's listening to this podcast for the first time and is like, oh, God, no. Listen, no. Please.
Especially with everything I was spewing.
I know. See? They're like, man,
when I said
guys...
bring out the Republican in me, I want to make clear, I view that as a very negative thing. I am not, particularly because I do not live in a republic.
It's not even an option where you live.
As much as certain right-wing parties try to make it to be. Yeah, look, and I also want to just note, I get that a lot of you know him, listeners and people in the fandom. I don't know him. I'm not really talking about the guy you know. I'm talking about the guy that was on my TV. And I will treat him with the same level of care that I do everybody I talk about on this show,
Which is none.
When I talk about any of them. It's not just the ones you've met.
All right. So as you mentioned earlier, we do have a website. It's purplerockpodcast.com. Those season rankings you mentioned. I saw something the other day. It was coming up on, it's just in the millions of views. So thank you all to the people that have seen our rankings and recommended them to other people. I think even the guy who I met in Atlanta, Abe, that I shouted out earlier, I think he'd seen our rankings. I was like, yeah, everyone has. I don't know how that happened, but it happened.
I like that we created a piece of content once and it's been wildly successful. And then we were like, well, that's enough.
Well, see, this is the thing is we did not do what Survivor did and just take the wrong lesson from it. We were like, no, we had a W and we're just going to ride that thing. We're not going to try to capitalize off of it and recreate this same thing in a lesser form. No. We're just going to take our W and let it sit there.
So yeah, you can go to the website and join us in comments. If you want to kind of interact with us, give your own thoughts, absolutely share all the ways in which I am overreacting because I think I am. I'm just sharing with you the emotional state that I was in while watching this episode. Do that on the website because honestly, you can't really interact with us elsewhere. If you have questions for the show, send us an email.
Sure.
purplerockpodcast@gmail.com. We'll get to it.
Yep.
But this is the part where we usually tell you that other site that you could follow us on, and honestly, I just can't.
Don't do that. Don't support fascists. Like I'm dropping the "Let's Go Brandon" thing. Like no. Don't support fascists. We're actually against that.
So John is all the way out on that. A fact that he likes to share with us in some moral high ground, while also sharing Reddit links from time to time. And I'm just like, I don't know if you're doing it right. I'm just gonna say,
hey, I'm willing to embrace my hypocrisy.
It's like, look, I get that I'm like a filthy addict about all this stuff, but no high horses here. I actually did end up posting a couple of times last night just because it felt like the right audience for the right joke. But for the most part, I'm trying to also not really participate in that site. Output I take in some kinds because, like, say, the basketball communities elsewhere haven't developed to the point to where I want. But yeah, man, like, and if you're still on it, that no judgments here. It
from
sucks
Andy.
that somebody else.
From me, though, yes.
The place.
No.
And I say, our there is somebody still posting for our site. If he finds value and you find value in that, you could find out how to do that. But yeah, don't message us or whatever. It's likely that we're not really going to be there anymore. If you want to interact with the site, comments are the way to do it. So stop lurking, create an account, and let's go, Brandon.
Yeah, draft a fantasy team. Do that too.
Oh yeah, that's going on. Tell people about that real quick.
No, don't. Just go to the website, find it. We've been talking too long. We're done.
Absolutely. I'm done. I'm out.
All right. Let's hit some theme music, Andy.
This is the copyright-free outro to the Purple Rock Survivor podcast.